to get the message across that this is England and it's a white country, and we are not racist, we are just patriotic.
A lot of the people who are coming in, I don't want to be too harsh on them, but they have a completely different set of values, especially when it comes to their laws, than we do in the UK.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. I am the Kenyan Beast. Of course, we are doing it the African way every day, every time. Now, in today's video, I'm going to talk about clips I've gathered for you to watch about the UK people. They don't want immigrants, they don't want black people because of some reasons. At some point, I agree with them, and I don't know I don't know your reactions on these videos, because they have claims about immigrants. And as far as I'm concerned, the country of England or UK has been built by immigrants, fully built by immigrants. Black people has built that country. Spanish, maybe Mexicans, a lot of immigrants have been there to work for the country. And I think that's why the government is giving them priority, because UKs are complaining, saying that these immigrants come here, they have been given this, they have been given this, they are being given this by the government, and we are here, we are suffering. I think the government just realized that these immigrants, they are the backbone of this country. They are doing more than our own people. You may find a country like Kenya. We have Somalis here in Kenya, and they are working extra hard. They know where they come from. It's not that soft. They are building houses here in Kenya. They are putting businesses here in Kenya and building malls. Our own Kenyans, we are reluctant and relaxed. This is our country. And you may see government maybe giving them priority so that they can continue investing in the country. I think that's the reason why UK government is so, it's giving you immigrants first-hand help. Again, some immigrants are complaining of the cultural influence. They are saying Christianity is losing in England because a lot of Muslims are there, Asians have come there, and they are influencing, even the religion. Some are complaining that England is a Christian countries, but some people are coming with their cultural, secular Muslim. So I don't know. Watch these videos of these Englands and tell me in the comment section, do you think they are right? But when you watch that, we'll come back and react.
Not England no more. We've always had foreign people here. It's nothing to do with racism. They keep saying that. It's wrong. When I went to London as a boy, Turkish, every nationality. We've always got on. But when people keep blowing the trumpet about things, and we're now the second-class citizens in this country. It's silly, really, isn't it? What else can you say?
How important an issue is immigration to you?
Well, I can't get a job. They come to this country and they just get a job just like that.
So when you apply, what do they say to you?
Well, I've got a criminal record. Assault.
Assault?
Yeah.
How long ago?
Well, I've been out of prison now 3 years now.
And so you blame immigrants rather than your criminal record?
What is your problem with the immigrants coming in?
The problem with the immigrants coming in is they're undocumented and illegal. The Irish people can't afford these undocumented male. There's no women, there's no children, it's just men. And then we have also the economic migrants coming in as well. We can't afford it. We have nowhere to put them. The Irish people have nowhere to live.
I mean, many people would say that it's a racist thought, etc., to be saying that. Is it?
No, it's definitely not. We have lots and lots of people here, diverse from everywhere in the world. There's no problem with those people. They have jobs, they come, they work, they make their whole life here. What we're talking about is unvetted, undocumented male migrants between 20 and 35 years of age. There's nothing for them to do. There's nowhere for them to go. They're going to be put in tents at the moment, and it's costing us millions per day for the ones who are in hotels. Our own people have nowhere to live. Our own people are on the streets, in tents.
They're calling me a racist, and they're calling me a fascist and a Nazi. I'm just British. In my country, holding my Union Jack, looking out for my children and grandchildren, whom I've got 3 of.
I love my country, and I want our future, our kids, to have something to, have something, When they grow up, I don't want them to inherit something that's, it'll be dangerous for them in the future. They'll have no facilities to use, they don't get a doctor's appointment. And you know, the grooming gangs are out of control as well.
They're quite aggressive, and I've come across this on a few occasions. I've come down here just really so I can actually see what the reaction is. There must be 50 police here now protecting 4 of us. It's because they want to attack us, and yet we're the ones that are being called the aggressors. We're the ones that are being called the fascists and the racists, and we're anything but. Far right. I mean, what is far right today? You know, you're either far left or you're far right. There's no middle ground anymore.
Well, we've got all this lot here. None of them are waving the English flag. They obviously don't support England. They keep saying immigrants welcome. Where are they going to put them? Are they going to house them? I bet you ask every one of them, not one of them will take one in.
Churches are closing down because they offend Muslims and immigrants. This has to be one of the most frequent comments that I got on one of my previous videos. But of course, this could not be further from the truth. Now, don't get me wrong, churches in the UK are closing at an alarming rate. Over 3,500 have closed in the last 10 years. But why? The answer, of course, is not that churches offend Muslims or people of any other faith. The answer is right here on this pie chart. This particular piece here, this is how many people in England and Wales consider themselves atheists. They do not have a religion, versus Christian here, and this little green one here is Muslim. And in Scotland, you see an even bigger slice of the pie of people that are now atheist. So now in England and Wales, Christians make up only 46.2% of the population, whilst atheists or non-religious people make up 37.2%. And in Scotland, Christians make up only 38.8% of the overall population. And even then, the vast majority of Christians in the UK do not attend church. Just take the Church of England, for example, which shows that only 1.2% of the population of England actually attend Sunday service. So why does this mean that churches are closing down? Well, of course, churches rely upon attendance. They need donations from their parishioners. They need attendees so that they can get government grants, all these sorts of things to maintain their buildings. If people aren't going to church, then the churches will close down. Now, of course, this is very sad. Nobody wants to see historic churches closing down. I'm not even a Christian, and I have no desire to see churches closing down, and I can assure you that the Muslim population of our country don't want to see them closing down either. They do not offend people of other faiths at all. And one of the saddest things about seeing so many churches close down is that not only were they worship spaces for Christians, but also they provide important community spaces, and most importantly of all, food banks. There are many people in the UK who rely upon church-backed food banks just to be able to eat week to week. Thankfully, this is something that is now being picked up by the various mosques across the UK, as you can see here, and here, and here, and here, and here. So what is the solution to so many churches closing down? Well, with the rise of atheism in the UK, it's important for people that consider themselves Christian to go to church. If you want your churches to stay open, you need to attend them. You need to help them with donations. You need to make sure that they can stay open and operating. It really is as simple as that.
A lot of the people who are coming in, I don't want to be too harsh on them, but they have a completely different set of values, especially when it comes to their laws, than we do in the UK. And they seem to want to impose their way of life from where they are from on us. One thing that's certainly happened is more and more sexual assaults, I think, are becoming apparent. There's also a huge increase in gang violence, and it seems like the police seem scared to counteract this. Police have been open about how they're not within their resources to respond to burglaries, for example. They've openly admitted that. However, they seemingly have huge amounts of resources to go after people who make offensive tweets. The internet could well be over-dramatising that, but the point is, the internet is only showing what other people are seeing. So even though it might not just be happening in your world, what you see with your eyes is not just what there is to see. There's a lot more to see, and that's what the internet is bringing to light.
Welcome back. Now, some people in the UK express resistance to immigrants due to the combination of perceived economic, social, and cultural issues across the country. Now, here are some of the reasons that these people we have seen in these videos they are talking about. And I want us to go one by one. Let's start with economic concerns. Under economic concerns, let's talk about job competition. Now, some believe that immigrants take jobs from locals, particularly in low-skilled sectors. Those studies often show that immigrants contribute to to economic growth and fill labor shortages. Now, these UKians or these people from UK who are complaining about job and these low-skilled jobs, and I heard sometimes one person say this: if you give them that job, they can't do it better than the immigrants. Immigrants are the one who are doing these jobs because they are being called to do that low-skilled jobs. They are good at it. They know where they have come from, the problem they have passed through. So when they come here and they get these hand jobs, they do it. But UKs complain that their jobs is being taken by immigrants, and that's why they don't want, or they resist them there. There is perception that immigrants drive down wages, especially in sectors like constructions or hospitality. Now, yeah, that's a problem, by the way. It's a problem even in some countries, even in our country, Africa. When I was sometimes back, this house help work, Kenyan ladies were working this house help work here in Kenya, and they were being paid, maybe it was 10,000. They were being paid like $100. Let me take like $100 per month. Now, here came Ugandan ladies to work in Kenya, and most of them, they were asking anything. So from $100, these Ugandan ladies were paid $60, and they were happy with it. Now everyone wanted a Ugandan house manager or house help, because first, they are cheap, they are hardworking, because they have come to this country to work. They are, respectful. They respect, because they respect the laws of that country. They don't want to get themselves in trouble. And that led to a lot of Kenyans to lose their jobs, because they are expensive. They are in their country. You can't tell them anything anytime they'll go. So that, I can understand that. When immigrants comes to a country and they just ask anything, just give me food, I will work. Just give me $2, $3, I will work. So the economy, the wages goes down. Each and every company cuts their wages because they have these immigrants in their company. So you being there, you are being told is either you accept $60 or you go. Because if you go, we'll find your replacement with $60 and even less. That is the problem. And I think if this is one of the problem, government is to be blamed, not the immigrants. Because as the system, they need to set a wage of some works. If this wage is paying 100K, let it be like that to immigrant, to non-immigrant. Another thing is a pressure on public services. Now, some urge that immigrants increase demand for housing, schools, and healthcare, causing strains on these systems. And when the demand goes high too, they become expensive. Healthcare become expensive. Just an example, where I'm living right now, around, I have a lot of Sudanese friends, and the house was cheap here. It was like very cheap, like $35. But right now, you are paying $100 for a house, to rent a house, simply because the demand from them, and they pay anything just to live in your country. So I can understand some parts. I can understand that one. Now, let's go to cultural concern. As I was saying, fear of losing national identity. Some worry about cultural changes and beliefs. Immigration dilutes traditional British value or identity. Concerns arise when immigrants are perceived as not integrating into society, such as learning English and adapting local customs. When you talk about cultural concerns, we talk about losing of your culture, because when we are mixed, some will start intermarrying, some will start talking or speaking, learning your language, some will start learning your food, how to cook. So there is a dilute of culture, and British people, they fear in losing this culture. When the white people came to Africa, they diluted our culture. Now we want to live like the West. That's what they are talking about. So they are complaining that they're going to lose their culture because of these immigrants. Some are saying that the church, England is losing the church because of these immigrants. England is losing the religion culture, the Christianity culture, because of immigrants. Some are saying that England is losing in many aspects of their culture. And even one topic said that church is no more in England. I saw that on social media just because of this cultural dilution. Now, political and media influence. Immigrants are sometimes blamed for broader societal problems such as housing shortage or declining public services. Certain media outlets focus on negative stories about immigration, reinforcing stereotypes and fears. Of course, when media focus on a negative side of these immigrants, the public will see it as a step to send them away. Some media will say the people from this country, these types of immigrants are like this, maybe drug dealers, blah, blah, blah. And this will install fear in the people of that country. For example, I give you an example here in Kenya. When stereotypes being sent across about Somalis, friends, we will start thinking different about them. So sometimes it's just media escalation. They are escalating this fear among the citizens of UK. We have something called historical and political context, and something called Brexit and sovereignty. Brexit amplified debates about immigration with a focus on taking back control of borders. Some voters supported Brexit due to concern over freedom of movement within the EU. Anti-refugee sentiments. Recent increases in asylum seekers, such as those crossing the English Channel, have led to debate about illegal immigration to border control. And people from England, the British people, are saying, we want our country back. They are like, our country is going back to the wrong hands, or our country is going back to hands that is not ours. We need our country back. Now, many concerns stem from misconceptions or misinformation. For instance, research shows that immigrants often contribute more to public finance than they take out, but this is not always well understood. That's what I was saying. Migrants has built the country of England. Migrants are working more in these low-skilled jobs, and they are paying a lot of taxes to be here. They are paying a lot of money. The country is gaining a lot from these immigrants. But it is not put out there. The media is not talking about it. So there is a lot of misinformation going on that is making the UK or the British people to say no to these immigrants. And sometimes they don't know is from these immigrants they are getting this good health. From these immigrants they are getting this good school system and everything. Simply because immigrants are paying more than what they take out. You claim about job opportunities. When you are given that job in construction, will you do it? Will you? Will you work on that construction site? That is the number one thing we need to know as British. We love soft life. The life of not struggling. Since you colonized Africa and make Africans as slaves and take again slaves to your countries, you build a country or a system, a soft system that a generation has generated from that system to become soft, not to work into these low-skilled jobs, not to work in these hardship jobs. And that's why immigrants are in your country working there, building your country. But you are out here complaining. I don't know if you are right or if you are wrong. For me, I can say, on the other hand, you are right, because something that's happening in this country. When South Africa is complaining about immigrants taking our jobs, working, blah, 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 wages. Kenya, sometimes we're complaining about that. The house helps, they are coming here, Somalis, working this, taking our lands and everything. So it's upon the government to decide what to do. But if you are a black person, if you come from Africa, come and build Africa. Use the energy you used to build England. Come and build Africa with it. I don't know what you're going to say in the comment section. I'm just trying to think about these immigrants, about the British people, how this will end. Tell me in the comment section what you think. Until next episode, peace be with you.